welcome to this episode of the Futurum Tech Webcast. I'm your host, Shelly Kramer, and this conversation is part of our interview series of discussions. And today I am joined by Kirsty Thompson, a marketing manager for Sodales Solutions, and we are going to talk today about employee health and safety programs and how achieving a holistic view of organizational safety excellence is actually in just about every business's best interest. So Kirsty, welcome. It's great to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here today.
Absolutely. So before we start our discussion, I kind of want to step back a little bit and just talk about employee health and safety programs. And it's really more, these things are really definitely more than just a line item on the budget sheet, especially today. And we know that a poorly managed program can not only potentially result in productivity losses and financial losses, but more importantly, that can be a threat to the safety and well-being of employees. And I think one of the things that has come kind of resoundingly out of navigating a global pandemic for the last couple of years is that employees actually care a lot about what their organizations do as it relates to well-being, their well-being and safety. And it really is an important thing. Some data points here. Pre-pandemic, according to a survey that was done in 2019, workplace-related injuries cost about $1 billion a week. I don't know about you, but that's a big number. And a big number when you think about the fact that it's happening on a weekly basis. And the costs are actually probably even greater than that when you take into consideration lost productivity and the impact to employee morale that workplace health and safety issues have. So it really is a big deal. And that's why that's why we're having this conversation today. And it's why it's so important for organizations to really make health, safety, and environmental management a priority. How do organizations do that? That's why Kirsty's here, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, Kirsty, again, welcome to the show, and I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about you and your career path, and just kind of introduce yourself to us.
Sure. Just a quick introduction on myself. I do have a background in marketing in some different highly regulated industries. Before coming to Sodales, I was actually working in marketing in the financial services industry. And now I am here at Sodales Solutions, and I'm really working to transform our digital strategy and our communication efforts. And really looking forward to digging deeper into workplace health and safety today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so a background in highly regulated industries, compliance needs, that's really an important skill set to bring to this conversation, right? So that's terrific. Tell us also just a little bit about Sodales and, what the company does, where you're headquartered and that sort of thing.
Definitely. Sodales Solutions is actually an SAP Pinnacle Award winning cloud software company, and we are located in Toronto, Canada. And we provide enterprise safety as well as labor relations solutions for highly regulated industries. Now, our all in one enterprise health safety and environment management platform is a full suite, and it does come with industry best practices for safety compliance. We've really seen great adoption and have a global customer base within highly regulated industries, as I mentioned before, including public sector, utilities, manufacturing, engineering and construction, healthcare, transportation, and even education. And we're extremely proud to provide our customers with an integrated, preventative, and proactive approach to health and safety.
That's awesome. So, we have seen a renewed focus over the course of the last year or so on employee health and safety programs for obvious reasons, right? Um, you know, how often does a global pandemic come along? But that said, I want to talk a little bit about what your customers are seeing out there. What are they experiencing as it relates to employee health and safety programs?
Definitely. In general, safety departments are working with your other departments as well as your contractors, as well as your regulators in order to enable compliance practices across your organization. But what we're really seeing now is that safety is actually at the forefront of all business functions, and it's really becoming everyone's responsibility. So
Right,
safety is now looked at as this new way to run your business and has really become part of the core employee experience within your organization.
right.
Something that we're really seeing a lot of, and it's been shown in so many studies, is that companies who treat safety as a silo process, they really aren't able to build their capability in their field, and they aren't able to integrate their safety across their core business functions. And as you're looking towards the future and you're really trying to be ready for that as an organization, You need to be able to manage your safety as this integrated process that is connected with your core business functions. So your production, your customer service, your finance, and even your HR departments, when it comes to employee learning and performance, should all be connected with your health and safety programs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what would you say that the state of the health and safety program industry is as a whole?
Mhm. We're definitely seeing some big trends when it comes to health and safety in the industry right now and with our customers. And our customers are really shifting from data level improvements to improving end to end organizational downstream processes. And they really want to make informed policy improvements across their entire organization. So, now what that means is they're looking to use a proactive approach for identifying their nonconformities. I think it's really important to mention that's not just for their people, but also for their sites and their different locations.
Right,
And
right.
this altogether has really shifted their focus onto collaboration. So they've really come to realize that safety and policy improvements are directly connected to collaboration across not just their employees and their HR leadership, but also their operations and their external auditors and the regulatory bodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. One of the things that, when you say collaboration is so important, what the way that I think about, employee health and safety programs is that, if your way of managing these things is this Excel spreadsheet over here, and this team has this Excel spreadsheet, and this team over here is using this spreadsheet, and none of these things are connected, and we're not as a workplace, as a workforce connected, able to have visibility into a platform, visibility into what's going on throughout the organization. I mean, you're just really severely hamstrung. And so I think that collaboration is key. Also, understanding the need to remove those doggone silos. And, I think that's a big barrier to success when it comes to these programs is, when you have things piecemealed out, and siloed, you're really not going to be able to deliver the kind of programs that you need to be delivering.
For sure.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit, as I said in the introductory part of this conversation, workplace related injuries are not cheap. They can cost organizations a lot of money, downtime. It can affect employee morale. I mean, employees, I think one of the things that has come for sure out of the pandemic is that we've learned that safety really matters to employees, and working for an organization where people feel like their safety, their well-being is of primary importance is really, really important. So how you manage your workplace and your employee health and safety programs actually has plays a role in, not only how successfully you're able to recruit, but also how you're able to retain employees. And it speaks to culture as a whole in terms of how it is your organization thinks about, and acts about these kinds of programs. So I think that's really important. That said, this is not always the most easy thing to the most easy box to check when you're trying to, make sure your technology stack is what it should be. And, and I know that customers face roadblocks along the way. So would you share with us a little bit about some of the challenges, some of the roadblocks that you see that your customers deal with?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of our customers do face a lot of roadblocks in the industry. One of those most common roadblocks is actually having way too many tools. And they have all
Yeah,
these tools that aren't standardized and they aren't integrated and they've become really redundant. And they don't even have the basic ability to, say, link their incidents and trigger training events for their nonconformities or to integrate their performance management programs with their safety goals. And that's creating some really big gaps. It's preventing them from achieving their ideal zero site incident goals.
right.
Another major roadblock is all centered around corrective processes. So they're really lacking the visibility into the industry procedures and methodologies that do help them effectively identify their corrective processes. And that's actually making them look towards the technology to deliver the best practices for their industry for them.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Now, organizations are also dealing with massive amounts of documentation. We have customers who have over 40,000 inspections per month, and they really need a consistent approach for their data and documentation control. And that can be so overwhelming, and it really creates a lot of inconsistency, especially those with different regions and locations and
Right.
sites. Imagine manually searching through all of that documentation. That process would become so time consuming.
Well, time consuming, not in any way efficient or cost effective, so easy to miss key, pieces of information just because we're human. And so I think really that, speaking of technology stacks, the reality of it is that there there are technology solutions available that can help solve this. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit. The Sodales Enterprise Health, Safety, and Environmental Management software has really been a game changer for a lot of companies. Talk with us a little bit about that solution, if you would, and really kind of give us an overview.
For sure. So the Sodales EHS extension for SAP SuccessFactors actually provides an end-to-end integrated environment for managing your health and safety incidents. So we're actually taking a new approach and we're integrating safety across your business decisions, your strategy, and your performance. And what's really great about our solution is it's powered by AI-based chatbots that helps to process the critical information and tasks that are related to your health and safety teams. Now, our solution is really making a big difference for a lot of organizations, like you said, and especially those that do value speed. Most of our customers are large enterprise customers, and they're used to these long, complex projects.
Right.
Luckily, in many cases with our solution, the time to value was actually less than 3 weeks. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
made possible with the industry content that they're able to quickly enable. I also really want to highlight how extensible our solution is. So, this extensibility means they're able to be very flexible and robust, and they're able to adapt to the new and changing guidelines that are constantly affecting our customers. And that's all due to the fact that the underlying technology of our solution is big data technology. So,
Mhm.
they're really able to streamline and integrate their company specific processes to their core health and safety programs, especially ones that they differ for each customer and their processes aren't really the same. In certain industries, we see customers that are linking their specialized leave management processes for rules based on employee demographics. But we also see organizations with company specific legal requirements where they're really looking to have one single legal repository for all their legal tasks and associated commitments. And with our solution, we're giving them one convenient place to house all this important information.
One place where all the information is, accessibility throughout the organization to the people who need it, the ability, because of the technology powering the solution, to stay completely up to date as it relates to regulations and changes and everything else as it relates to compliance and the things that, highly regulated industries deal with on a regular basis. I mean, it really is a game changer to be able to rely on this kind of a solution.
Definitely, it really is. And it's great that we have so many customers that are really happy with our product and so many success stories that we can share.
So I know that we talked a little bit just a minute ago about the bulk of your customers are enterprise customers. Are there any kind of companies or industries that benefit most from using a solution like this?
Definitely. Most of our customers, they are global organizations and they often have localized or even site specific needs. And they're really looking for that all in one platform that does provide them the ability to be flexible for those different requirements, but without incurring expensive costs. So, we have many great customers throughout different highly regulated industries that I can share with you. The first one is actually the Woodbridge Group. Now, Woodbridge is a global leader in integrated systems manufacturing, and they operate 63 different facilities in 21 countries, including North America, China, Brazil, and India. So, Woodbridge was actually looking to streamline their audit and their risk management processes and really needed to automate their manual and error prone method for collecting their global risk data. So our deployment with Woodbridge was actually a big bang approach, and they had full integration with their core SAP SuccessFactors HR suite, which did give them a completely preventative approach to their health and safety. Now, another great example is Dermacaba. Dermacaba is one of the top 3 players in the global market for access and security systems, and they have a presence in 100 countries. And they came to us through the SAP store, and we used a phased approach in this implementation as opposed to the big bang approach with Woodbridge. And they were looking to implement our solution for both their employees as well as their contractors and really increase that collaboration, like we talked about before. So we had a global rollout, and they were really looking for a standardized reporting system where they can generate executive level reports, having all countries on one single streamlined program, which was what made our solution so great for Dharma.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and especially when you're talking about a global operation and trying to manage that across the world, that's a big deal. Well,
Definitely.
Kirsty, this has been a fantastic conversation. And, to our audience, if you didn't wake up today thinking about, organizational safety excellence and really what the importance of employee health and safety programs and how that impacts, your culture, your bottom line, and, your risk management, your risk mitigation strategies, now maybe you're thinking about it a little more. And, for sure, I'll recommend that you check out the Sodales solution. You can find that in the SAP store. And Kirsty, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and sharing your insights on this topic. You've been an amazing conversationalist.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great to be here with you today.
Do you have any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
No, I mean, I think I covered what is so great about our solution, the way we can help so many different organizations, including even public sector and governments and
Yeah.
all those high unionized sectors. So there's really something for every little industry out there.
Absolutely. So for our audience, I will be sure to put a link to the Sodal solution in the that you'll find in the SAP store. I'll put a link to that in our show notes. And I will also include a link to Kirsty's LinkedIn profile. And if I encourage you, if you want to know more about how a solution like this can change the game for you, like it has for so many other organizations, I encourage you to reach out to Kirsty. I know she'd be happy to talk to you. And with that, thank you again, Kirsty, for spending time with us today. And thank you to our viewing and our listening audience as well. And we'll see you again next time.